Good morning. It's Tuesday. And you know Tuesday I love to go to the beach, right, and walk. But unfortunately, it's a little bit windy out there and a little overcast. I didn't mind the overcast of the rain. I minded the windy because every time I go down there, it's windy. No one can hear me. And I get all these text messages after. Couldn't hear you, but some of the messages I heard were good. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank all of you for joining again. And we're fresh off last night's webinar, the last official webinar, and I went like, what? The last webinar is like 55 dates. It's coming up already. That's crazy. So we're in the 49th day of the seminar of 55 days of the best you that you can be. And so I'm coming off last night. In case you didn't hear it, you should go back and listen to Phil's. Unfortunately, I had to actually jump off a little bit early. Had some things going on. But I wrote a lot of notes after last night. The things I think are important to note as we come to this program. You notice the title today was, there's no finish line. There's no such thing as a finish line. You know, we talked about last night getting back into balance. We talked about balance from the standpoint of in your routine, building balance, also balance in the standpoint of that there's a balance, there's a homeostasis of the body, that when the body's functioning well, it's in balance, and the metabolism is running good, the immune system's running good, all those types of things. So this has been basically the last 50 days of our lives has been to talk about the this getting back to balance. We started out talking about how our bodies, through toxins or stress, had gotten into a situation where we were completely out of balance. We were maladapted at some level. And the first principle that was brought up by Phil in this program was really a health continuum, right? There's a continuum that went along the line of being healthy all the way to being diseased. And along that continuum, the lifestyle habits to contribute to that. So I wanted to make sure that we understood in a continuum, we're never really fit forever, right? I mean, many people have made, when I look at the biomarkers people have talked to me and texted me about, and that were my clients that went on this program, everything from blood sugar to energy to sleep, the things that improve, people lost weight, the things that have been improvements in their life is wonderful. But the reality is that our physiology, our psychology, and our life events are going to determine where we stay on that continuum, right? We're going to move back and forth on that continuum. So we never really get fit and just stay there, right? I mean, a thoroughbred could always slip to being a phoenix, you know, and certainly a chrysalis could become a thoroughbred at some point, and concept of what they can perform and do. I remember one of our members came when he first came to our club 14 years ago, was overweight, high stress level. Now I have to kick him out of the club half the time because he's overtraining. But the guy's in his 70s and can do 12 chin-ups with weight around his waist. It's amazing to watch him, and he'll hit a burst training session and just crank it out in his routine. So I really applaud that he's made this transition from probably a phoenix at the time, a little more of a chrysalis because he really wasn't an athlete and everything from that. So to really, people look at him and think he's a thoroughbred because he just keeps challenging himself. So it's about their physiology, our psychology, and our life events, and it's about resiliency. Now, I wrote down the definition for resiliency: the ability to get back to normal. It is the ability to handle difficulty and respond to it. You're going to slip. It's not bad that you slip. That's part of life, that you're going to slip. The key thing is that hi Michelle over at St. Pete, love you. Nice to see you on my thing. You've heard me talk about these things for like 40 years, right? So like it's the important thing is once you're on this continuum and you have that slip, is not to quit. It's to come back and do what you did to get there. Fitness in itself, just fitness, is resiliency. It is resiliency because it teaches us that as we go, because you're challenged and it shows you how to get back to normal and to work from that standpoint. So I wrote some things down about resiliency and about staying on this fitness continuum and trying to stay towards the end of being where you are now and improving that. we have a motto at Bodies by Tasso and Company that says, never stop improving. We always want to get better. There's not a day we want to look back and say, well, we did everything we can be. I mean, we have, I'm blessed, excuse me, I'm blessed that I have probably more members over the age of 75 than a lot of clubs will ever see in their lifetime. And those people have been with me for 20, 25 years, and I love it because they come in, they do their deal. You know, when they turn 90, they're still driving their cars. You know, we've had several centurions that we've had go through our club in the past several years. And I love saying that they were there for the long haul, right? They weren't a 19-month member. They've been there. We have, I think I mentioned before, we have close to 400 members been with us for 25 years. So I wrote some things on our ability to stay in our position can be our time, our regularity, and our motivation. You have to have a routine, you have to have tools, and you have to have a training program. You've been given all that in this 55-day program. This is truly an integrated program that has not just looked at exercise, it has looked at diet, mental capacity, mindset, spiritual, going outdoors, biohacking. Think of the topics you've heard. Laughter, right? It's all been included in this. And it's said about the military, they don't rise to the occasion when they have difficulty and challenge. They rely on their training. So this has literally been a boot camp for us the last 50 days. And to get ready for this. I want a concept I think one of my days that I spoke in church that I told you about is that there's a term in the Orthodox faith called ascesis. Our life is a struggle. To say anything other than that would be to lie to you, to give you a false witness of it, because we're going to be challenged. We're going through a challenge right now. The coronavirus is a challenge. As I said yesterday, for every challenge we have in life, there is an equal and opposite opportunity on the other side, and we have to find those. I don't think for a minute that I do these presentations every morning for all the great people that listen to them. I do them as much for me. I have to be reminded. That's part of journaling, is I'm giving myself a speech in my journal. In fact, my journal last night, where did I put that in my journal? I said, last night in my journal, I said, I was grateful that I live in this country. And it was especially brought home to me last night because we celebrated Memorial Day and the people who were there for us and have made this country free. I put in there, I was grateful for the technology we have that allows us to do this kind of thing and to not have lost contact with people. Most of you never heard of a Zoom meeting or had maybe 10 Zoom meetings in your life before 55 days ago. Now, how many Zoom meetings have you been on over this time? We have an opportunity to move forward every day of our lives, and we're surrounded by wonderful groups and friends. And all this is part of that training that you'll rely on to go and be resilient. You know, we have to understand we don't have to live a life that's sick, no energy, and listless. We are meant to and built to be to live a healthy, victorious, and just a constantly growing and beating the monsters and overcoming the challenges and illnesses and failure. There's going to be failure that we're going to learn from. So these talks are as much for myself as they are for all of you out there that I've become close and friends with. So there is no finish line. Let's accept that today. We're going to finish this program, and hopefully we will come up with a way for resources to be available. You know, you probably connected with one of the trainers along the way that really resonated with you. And that's great that you did that. Remain in contact with them. We are going to come with things that we are going to do personally in our own businesses and that are separate from this group as we go forward. So Rita Davenport, I heard her speak one time, and she said, if money can fix your problem, then you don't have a problem. Now, the way most people will think about that is say, well, I don't have the money, so it must be a problem. And that's the wrong thinking, as we've talked about through this whole process, is that when I think about the problem, I think that if money's the issue, I'm one idea, one action away from being able to overcome and become. How many people have you heard about that all of a sudden had an idea, boom, and they go from rags to riches, right? So it's possible to do that. But the core of this is we need our ideas that help us go through our challenges or our problems. So we never give up on that struggle that we have called ascesis in the Orthodox faith. We never give up on that. So we want to understand that we have to work from that standpoint. Remember, you've been given a tool for this. Your idea, or in our case, your thought, okay, your action, and your outcome, your Tasso tool, can be that core of what you do and how you move forward. One of the people I've quoted several times on this is Emmett Fox, because I like a lot of his books. And he says, every challenge is a lesson. And, I've always believed that, going back to my faith base, that God never puts anything before us that we can't overcome, right? He's just trying to show us what true potential we have in life. So we have to approach the problems like this and say to someone, Father Joseph, who you all have heard me talk about, I don't think Father Joseph actually ever run into one of my things, although he's threatening when I do it at the church. I'm going to come tell him the baptismal font's ready for you to jump in, because I jumped in the pool early in this presentations. He's always saying to me, he told me one time, I was telling someone a story the other day, he said to me, if I'd had the last 15 years of life since I've known you that you've had, he says, I don't know why you're so happy. So, well, maybe my mom was wrong when she got me tested. I really am crazy, and I just handle these things because I'm crazy, But the law of difficulties says that a difficulty is going to find you when you need to grow, when that opportunity needs to present itself to show you how you can grow. Now, that's a mindset issue that you have to have about yourself, that nothing's put before me that I can't overcome. I love Jim Rohn, who used to talk about the ant's philosophy of life, that the ant would find if he ran into a wall, he would find a way over it, through it, around it, under it. He would find a way. The true challenge, or the true horrible thing in life, is if we have a challenge and we suffer through it and we don't learn a lesson. I don't know if you noticed the last couple things I've talked about, looking at the good side of these challenges that we're going to see and what we learn from them. We're going to learn. We're going to learn from those challenges, and we're going to become better people from those challenges. I think that this thing that we've gone through, this pandemic, has made us more conscious of our relationships and the people we miss seeing every day and the people we love to see. And that's a part of fulfilling that psychology and the physiology of our lives and our life events. So once again, I want to remind you that there is no finish line. This program will finish at 55 days. Every one of the coaches that are on this program will continue their lives. And I don't know if you know that all of us are sort of connected in a group that we meet every other Friday, and we have brainstorm sessions, and we pick up topics that are taught. Phil's the moderator and mediator, and he brings lessons to the table, and we discuss it. And he's been great as a person to do that for us as a moderator. So I want to remind you, the 3 points I would like you to take away from today is that there is no finish line. We will slip along that continuum of health and fitness, but the key is to never stop, to be resilient, to handle that situation, to find a solution. The second thing is that be understanding that to continue this success, the first one is to not quit, to have a routine, to surround yourself with people that help you be successful, and to rely on your training to get back. And the final thing is that these challenges that we face, they are opportunities to grow. They are opportunities to have lessons learned in life that open our eyes to what our true potential is. You were born for greatness. You're born to succeed. You're a champion in life. And I hope that my contribution and all the coaches that we've had in this deal with us have enlightened you. They've given you education, they give you motivation, and they give you inspiration to be the best that you can be. We got a few more days of this, and remember, next Monday night, prizes. So if you have not done so already, go back and see Phil's webinar from last night. If you've not filled out your questionnaire to give input to us as a team for the program, so we understand the true effect that we can have in the future, please do that, because we got a lot of great prizes. And we have a lot of great things coming forward from this week that are going to be surprises and help you to really enjoy and hit that finish line that doesn't exist. But at the end of this, I want you to be able to say, here's my peak, man. I got to my peak right now, and this, I know my standard that I can get to. Because some people are telling me that they haven't ever been in this good a shape before. And there's some of you that I'm using this. My good friend, the world record holder in the 100 meters, that he's using this program to get back to his form because he has a 50 and over world record to break. That's you I'm talking about, Dr. Mike. Time to go. God bless all of you. Have a great day. Look forward to seeing you. Text me, message me, send me emails, whatever you want to do if you have questions or topics you'd like me to cover in the last part of this deal. God bless you and have a great day.